Good evening, everybody. It's Lynn, the Go Live Granny, and here I am live streaming on Sunday evening as usual. And I'm not in my usual place, as you can see. So let's. Oh, it's turned me round. What is it doing? What is going on here? Okay, well, I would like to be this way round. For some reason, it's not letting me go sideways on. Don't know why that is. I have no idea what's happening here. This is really rather strange. So, have we gone live or have we not gone live? I'm just going to disappear out of the stream for a minute. And let's just go. Let's do that. No, let's bring it back again because I don't know whether I'm going live here or not. And it keeps turning me around for some reason. I have no idea why it's doing this. What is going on? So we are here and we have a viewer. So we are obviously live, but I don't know why it keeps tipping me round the wrong way, putting me on my side. Maybe it's because the things that I've got hello Steve, I'm trying to can you hear me? Can you hear me? Right, let's see. Just a minute. I'm having issues. I'm trying to wait a minute. Just a minute. No, that's not. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. I'm trying to get the camera balanced at a good height, and it's not playing the game properly. Wait a minute. You can hear me. Look, I keep going sideways on. I don't know why. Right, let's see if that works now. Right, loud and clear. Jolly good. You're in the house, and you're coming in from Facebook. So I don't know whether I'm live on YouTube as well. I'm having shenanigans. You're quite right. Oh dear. What is my life without shenanigans? It hasn't had too many travel shenanigans, but it's doing it again. It's tipping me on my side. Hang on. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's have a look. Right. Well, it may be that I've got to hold the camera all night because I can't look. I have this little stand that I put my camera in, and I can't put it in the stand because I've got it plugged in because I forgot to charge my phone, and so I've got the wire coming out the bottom, which it won't sit in the stand with. Hang on, let's see if it will. You think the camera's drunk? Something's going on. Wait a minute. Let's do that. So I don't know. Now what happened? Let's see if I hold it on its side. Let me hold it on its side. So I'm actually holding the camera, and I may have to put it down in a while. But let's see. I mean, I am with family. Oh no, it's doing it again. Right. It obviously no idea. It obviously wants to go this way up. Okay. You're loving my bow. I'm glad you're loving my bow. So anyway, let's start the stream properly. Hello everybody, it's Lynn here, the Go Live Granny, having shenanigans before I even start tonight. Shenanigans being my middle name. I'm live streaming here on Sunday. Let's do this. On Sunday the 16th. It's the 16th, isn't it? 16th of February 2025. Let's get the year right. Hello, Elizabeth. Hello, Tina. Hello, Steve, all coming in. Shenanigans. You know, what would it be if it wasn't shenanigans? I thought I was doing too well tonight because so that, wait a minute, what I usually say, isn't it, is if you're coming in on the live, welcome. If you're coming in on the replay, please put replay in the comments and I will connect with you at some stage. So I am away from home, as you can see. You may have seen me in this environment before. Usually when I live stream from this household, I'm usually in another room with white blinds behind me, but it's cold in there and it's warm in here. So I've been told I can sit in here and just do my live stream in here. So I don't think I'm going to do a 2-hour stint because I'm with family. That's not fair. So let's see how we get on doing it this way. So I've been up here for an event last night, and tomorrow I'm going back to the Isle of Wight. So Steve is saying, so Elizabeth's saying, great to see you, Lynn. Steve loves the bow. Tina's coming in there. Let's just see. Everybody's saying hello to everybody. If anybody could tag anybody who's not in yet and they know who to tag, that's great. Steve's saying he's finished the Alice in Wonderland picture but don't know how to show everyone. You're halfway through another Alice picture too. What you need to do is take a photograph, and we could put it, send me a picture of it. We could put it in the Go Live Granny community group, or we could put it, you could put it on your page and we could share it. It depends how public you want it to be, Steve. So let us know. You could always send it to me and I could put it up on the group if you like, but it's entirely what you want to do with it. So I'm so glad that you like my bow. Do you like my sparkles? Oh, I don't know if you can't see the sparkles on my bow. I haven't got great lighting here, but I don't know if you can see. Let's stand up. Let's stand up and show you. I have got a sparkly top on and it's got hearts on it. Can you see? Yeah, just private with us, really, Steve. Okay, Steve. Well, the only way I can do that is to put it in the Go Live Granny community group, which is a group of people all just connected to our community. So you decide if you want it to go in there, we can put it there. Otherwise, I'm not quite sure how we do it because we can't share it on here. So anyway, let's see how we do. You could always share it. You could always show me privately in Messenger if you want me to see it, but that others wouldn't see it that way. But anyway, so it's been a week, a busy week for me. So last week on Sunday, if you remember, can you remember where I was last Sunday? Who can remember where I was last Sunday? I remember, but I just wonder if you can remember where I was last Sunday. Sometimes I don't remember where I was from one day to the next. But anybody remember where I was last Sunday? And while you're thinking where I was last Sunday, I couldn't believe it when I set up these. No, I wasn't at my daughter's, Steve. No, not right. I know I usually am, but I wasn't. When I set these streams up on a Sunday, I have to get in touch with my son. I have to do it via his account, so I have to get a code that goes into his email. So I have to make sure he's around. He gives me the code. I set up the broadcast, and then I was Heather. Heather's got it in one. I was at home. Where is home? But home where I live when I'm not traveling to see my family. I was at home last Sunday. I remember it well. I lost my thread. What I was going to say. What was I saying? She said I was at home. Hi, Heather is in the house. Steve is in the house. Tina's in the house. Who else is in the house? So Heather, everybody's coming in on Facebook. Does that mean we're not recording on YouTube? Can you let me know? Because I did it differently this time. I went and I think I put it, I've got all of your supplies were behind me. That's right. That's right, Steve. You should remember, because when I went out of the room, you were going to steal all my crayons and my colouring pencils. Remember? So setting this up. So maybe we haven't got YouTube on again. I don't know what's going on. I'll have to talk to my son. But usually what happens is I set it up in the day and then we're ready to go. So then I go in again at night and it seems to have logged itself out. So I then have to get in touch with my son again and get another code to go in. Well, tonight I'd managed to sort of save it so it didn't log out. But then I knocked a button and somehow I muted, I blocked the microphone and the camera. So I then had to go in and find some way of unblocking the microphone and the camera, which I did. And then it seemed to be okay. We were going live. Then it was a minute or two before anybody came in. So I'm thinking, have I gone live or haven't I? It says I have. And then I saw one or two viewers, the numbers coming in. So I knew you were watching me. But well, it's strange. So then I was putting you on my stand and it was turning the camera always round. It wanted me to be on my side, and I don't want to be on my side. You don't think I'm on YouTube? Well, you see, last week when it didn't connect to YouTube, I had a feeling. I think one of my viewers said that I have an old YouTube account that I made once, but I've never really done anything with, and I thought I'd connected it to the wrong one. So this time I went in and I made sure it. Hi Sam, I made sure it was connected to the right YouTube account, and it doesn't seem to have gone live there. It was connected to the Go Live Granny one, I know, because I checked it. But when I went to check it just now to see whether it was sitting there, waiting to be ready to go live, I couldn't see it anywhere. So I don't know what's going on. I do believe the answer probably will be to have two gadgets, one streaming to YouTube and one streaming to Facebook. And then I wouldn't have to do any of this nonsense of, going through my son's account, because we could do it just through YouTube and just through Facebook. Although last night I met some people who are YouTube people and they said, do I stream on YouTube? Not YouTube, Instagram. So if I want to stream on Instagram as well, I would have to have three gadgets. Maybe we could do that. I don't know. At least we've got me live here now. And Heather's saying she's just happy that I'm live, so she can talk. You can talk with me. That's fine. So I don't know if any of you can tag Kath. If any of you are friends with Kath or Susan, or who else comes in, Patricia, any of the people that come in regularly, if you can tag any of them and give them a memory jerker. So Sam is saying his friend Jean and Janet and Joyce say, wish your friend Sam a happy 25th birthday for Saturday, please. Next Saturday, is it the birthday? Next Saturday, I hope so. Richard's in the house now. Hello, Richard. Richard is tagging. Oh, I can see Anna. Hello, Anna. How are you? Nice to see you coming in live here. Anna's not a usual viewer of my live streams, but she is somebody I know from the island, and we met a long time ago through my son. So nice to see you. No notifications from Facebook. I don't know what's going on, Richard. I really don't. When and you've only just come into the broadcast. When I started the broadcast, I had it the other way round, like this way round. Whoops, let's go back. Whoa, shouldn't do that. And it kept tipping me on in my side. So I had you in the stand, but it wouldn't stay the right way. Not my fault. No, I know it's not my fault. It's all the shenanigans of other people's shenanigans. So it was in my little stand. But it wouldn't go the right way round. And so hold tight. If you want to go on a merry-go-round, I could do this, but perhaps we won't. Perhaps we'll just leave it. Otherwise, I might disappear altogether. So anyway, it's been a fun week. It's been a busy week for me. I've done a lot of traveling. If you've been watching my Facebook account, you will know I've done loads of traveling this week. So this time last week, I was at home. Lots of you know, Richard's saying, I'm tipsy. I will get expelled and put on the naughty step. Or he's talking about us being on the magic roundabout. Boing, said Zebedee. Dear, oh dear. Magic Roundabout being a programme here in the UK. And Zebedee is one of the characters on the Magic Roundabout, for those of you who aren't in the UK and may not know what on earth I'm talking about. But never mind. So I am now holding my phone, and I have to hold it because I can't. I could put it in the mount this way in portrait, but I've got a wire attached because I forgot to charge my battery earlier. So I'm attached to the power supply, and I can't stand you in the phone because the power cable's in the way. You think after all these years, this would happen? Oh, Hazel's saying she can't get me. No, Hazel normally comes in from on YouTube, coming in there from Australia. Hello, Hazel, and of course, Heather's in the States. Hello, hey, all the foreign people, not the foreign people, the viewers from afar is what I mean. Lovely to have you in, and lovely to find the fact that you found me on Facebook, because I don't know what's going on. I thought I'd got it sorted. And I don't seem to have done. I don't know what's going on. I need to talk to my son, and I'm thinking I need to get a second phone, and then we could go one phone for Facebook and one phone for YouTube, and I could talk to you both. But the only thing is, when I do it, when I can go live on both at the same time, I can see all the comments in one list. And if you're coming in on Facebook, you've got a little blue F on your profile, and if you're coming in from YouTube, you've got the YouTube channel. So I don't know where YouTube's gone again tonight. I don't know what's going on, but never mind. Richard's saying he perhaps sort out a second phone. Well, Richard, that would be amazing if you could. I don't even need a contract for the second phone, because if we're on the Wi-Fi, I can do it on the Wi-Fi. The only reason I would need a contract for the second phone is if I was doing it where I was not in a Wi-Fi area. Anyway, Hazel, I'm glad you found us. That's brilliant. So what is it's got YouTube's gone down the tube, says Richard. It certainly has, hasn't it? Steve thinks hang on, folks. Adam's ale. It is only water, I promise you. So I forgot what I was going to say. Never mind. Oh yes, Steve was saying that he thinks he's posted the picture in the community thingamy. I think he means the Go Live Granny community group. I think that's what he means. So let's see about that. Okay, we'll look at that afterwards. I'm not going to try and go over there now, Steve, because you'll all disappear, and then that won't be much help, will it? So. Right, I will leave it with you, Richard. Your friend may have a spare iOS handset. That would be amazing, Richard. If we could have two sets and I could just do one for Facebook and one for YouTube, I wouldn't have to involve Tristan at all in it, because every Sunday I have to get in touch with him. And I usually have to get in touch with him more than once, and then sometimes something goes wrong, so I have to ring him again and say, I'm having to log in again. And so, we wouldn't have to do that if we could do it this way. Look up Elan Aqueduct. Right, our water is lovely, Welsh water, still gravity fed after 100 years. Excellent. Look up Elan Aqueduct, he's saying. So any of you know, so that's what Richard is telling me about the water, and Steve's saying okay. So so last Sunday I was at home. As many of you know, I've been supporting my daughter's family for some weeks now. Sometimes we all need a little bit of support and help, and I've been supporting them, and there have been just too many shenanigans in their life, so I went to support them, and I decided I needed to go home for a little while. That way your water comes from Wales. Righty-ho, Richard. Are you tagging Carl here? Oh, I see Richard's tagging Carl as well. Carl is one of our local councillors on the Isle of Wight. And don't get me started on council issues. And I know Carl would be saying the same thing as me on some of it. We won't talk about council issues on the Isle of Wight at the minute, because that's not a favourite. It's not something that really floats my boat, or floats the floating bridge, or any of those other things that happen. Let's talk about the other fun things that have been going on. He's actually, yes. chair of the Isle of Wight Council. But as I say, not great things going on the Isle of Wight. So, oh, you were tagging out of courtesy, not for, yes, absolutely. That's what I assumed you were doing, Richard. Absolutely, because yes, and Carl is one of those people I taught to live stream, and he saw the benefit of live streaming and has used it for the greater good for the Isle of Wight. So that's brilliant. Fun, 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 but no sun, sun, sun. No sun, sun, sun today. It's been very cold here. I'm in the north of England and it has been cold. I don't think it's much warmer further down country, but I will find out tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm on my. I expect shenanigans tomorrow because I am leaving the north of England and going back home to the Isle of Wight tomorrow. But I came up to -3 in the Midlands. Well, I'm going through the Midlands tomorrow, Richard, but hopefully I will only be. I am changing at Birmingham tomorrow, Richard, but I haven't got a big long stay over in Birmingham tomorrow. And if I did have much time to stay in Birmingham, I would sit in the passenger assist lounge because it's warm in there and it's comfortable. So anyway, so as I say, I was at home last Sunday and then I went back. Before I went back, I did one of my passenger repay claims, because lots of you who follow me, you will know that I have shenanigans on the trains, and when I have all these shenanigans on the trains, I usually am late, and I'm not me personally, but the trains are late, so it makes me late. And time after time, I've been getting a refund, and I've been more than an hour late, so I'm getting a full refund. And then there was the time when, so I've got one more claim to do, and it's the time when I went to see my son. So I'm with one son now. I went to see my other son, and when I went to see him, that was the time that we were running 50 minutes late. When you're running 50 minutes late, you only get half the money of your ticket back if you're running 50 minutes late. But as we came nearer to where his station is, we were running 58 minutes late. And I was willing the train to slow down. It had slowed down, and I was willing the train to slow down for another 2 minutes, because at an hour you get the full refund. And the universe played the game, because as we were coming to the station that I needed to be at, the signal went red and we sat there for 2 minutes. So I had an hour's delay. That's the last one I've got to claim. I did one of my claims last week while I was home. You know, it drives me mad. I mean, you know, it's fiddly to do some of these claims, and some of them are more fiddly than others, especially if I haven't actually had an e-ticket, but I've had a manual ticket and I've lost one bit of the manual ticket. But then I found I found the manual bit of the ticket after I'd done the reclaim. I found out that you can actually still reclaim it if you've got your receipt on an email. So I had my receipt on an email, I was able to claim, but it is fiddly, and then you get the computer plays up, or this happens, or the thing shuts down, or whatever. So many shenanigans. So I did one repay the other day. That was to Great Western Railway. The Avanti West Coast are the ones who pay up the quickest. They pay up really quickly. And if you remember, when I was with Tristan, he helped me do a reclaim on the last day it was possible to claim. On the 28th day, you've got 28 days to claim. And on the 28th day, we did the claim, and he pushed the button at a minute to midnight. We just got the claim in time. Did that on the Friday, and on the Monday I had a thing saying, yes, we've agreed your claim, the money will be in your bank soon. And it was in my bank about 2 or 3 days later. So that was brilliant. But they are the best, and their customer assist is very good. So Avanti West Coast, really good. Great Western Railway, that's the one I'm waiting for. Cross Country are the worst. And their passenger assist is pretty much the worst as well. So, you know, we have all these different things. Anyway, let's just go back and have a look. So let's see what happened. -3 in the Midlands, Hope it swiftly changes. Steve says you've got sun all next week. Oh, excellent. Finally, and 14 degrees by Friday. Well, let's hope you're right, Steve. Let's hope that's good information. So Richard's saying, as the White Rabbit says, you're late for a very important date. Absolutely. So anyway, but on that one where as I say, I was 58 minutes late, the signal went red and we were held at the signal for 2 minutes, and that made me an hour late, and that's the refund I've got to, that's the last one I've got to do. This week I came up from, so I went from my home on Wednesday back to my daughter's in Wiltshire, and I arrived on time. So no shenanigans there. I didn't really mind because it fitted well with when my daughter needed to pick me up. So I didn't mind not having a refund on Wednesday. And then on Friday, I was back on the trains and back up here to the north of England. And on this one, I did end up running late. I ended up running, the train was 14 minutes late. And of course, the refunds don't start till 15 minutes late. So no refund this time. Never mind, it doesn't matter. Richard's pleased to hear that Avanti are a good company. Steve loves Alice in Wonderland, and Steve, my community were treated to a lot of stuff to do with Alice in Wonderland all through when I was live streaming through COVID. I would read them stories of Alice in Wonderland. Some of them sent me things. I got a whole load of stuff sent my way. Alice in Wonderland, I had Alice in Wonderland tins with tea in. I had Alice in Wonderland bags. I had so many Alice in Wonderland things and presents given to me from my wonderful community. It's my dad belonged to the Alice in Wonderland, Alice Society. And he was always quoting from Alice in Wonderland to us as when we were children. And so he's instilled a love of Alice in Wonderland in me, and that's where all that comes from, Steve. But it's interesting to see that you also love Alice in Wonderland. So Richard's saying, yes, I do too. Richard's also saying, cross country are the worst overall. They really are. And do you know what? This week, so coming up here, up to the north, I went in Wiltshire. I went from my station where I start to Bristol Parkway. And Bristol Parkway, they had a lot of staff. It was very busy. It was Friday. It was busy by the time I got there. They had a lot of staff. I was on the passenger assist list, but I had to go and search somebody out to ask them to help me, where normally they look for me. And they weren't that interested. Their customer service is not the best. And they weren't that interested, but eventually I got somebody to help me. I said, look, I need to get a ramp on the train, and I knew the train was coming in a minute, and I knew I wasn't in the right place because I'd had to go and find the guy, and the disabled spaces are one end of the train or the other end of the train, and I knew I had to be up that end, and I was here. And so I was with the passenger assist guy who started to help me, and then somebody stopped to ask him a question. So he stopped, and I could see what was going to happen. The train was going to come in. He wasn't going to get the ramp out. I wasn't going to get on the train, and the train would have gone. In which case, there would have been a repay. But I wanted to get on the train, really. I just wanted to get there. So he did actually. I said, we need to go, and he did help me. Thank goodness. Oh, Debs is here. Hello, Debs. Apparently, they're moving the Penzance to Aberdeen through service and splitting it at Birmingham. Right, okay. I'm not going to Penzance or Aberdeen anytime soon, but it's useful for anybody else who does need to go that way. Refunds are handy. They are, Steve. Hello, Debs. Nice to see you in the house. Right, so Steve has loved Alice in Wonderland since he was about 7 years old. So that's that's good. Can somebody tag Susan any of you tag Susan, because I don't know whether she remembers that we're live. I think somebody can't tag Kath. Did anybody tag Yvonne? I don't know. If you can. Tracy, Tracy, cool as well. I'm hoping I might see her soon because I'm going to be back on the island for a few days. So yeah, anyway, so there's been, so as I say, I was at home. I went home. When did I go home? I went home. I was home for almost a week. So I went home, I think, oh, that's right. I went home on Thursday week ago, didn't I? So I was home in time for Slimming World on that Thursday. And I went to Slimming World. Thank you, Richard. Hello, Titch Nana Tig. Nice to have you in the house as well. So I went home and I weighed in at my old group, the group that's near my house. So, and I knew that I was going to have, it was going to show a weight gain because, of course, I'm not losing massive amount of weight in one go. It's a bit, a bit here and a bit there. And when I weigh in at my daughter's, which is now the group that I'm officially registered at because I'm there more than I'm at home. So we weigh in together, my daughter and we weigh in the morning. But of course, in the morning, you weigh less than you do in the evening. I mean, I'm still trying to get my head around how your body does all these different things during the day. So I knew that I probably would show a weight gain on the Thursday evening, which I did. So it wasn't a disappointment to me. It wasn't a massive gain, but I knew that it would be more. So anyway, I mean, if I'd have had a 3 or 4 pound weight loss, then it perhaps wouldn't have shown a gain there. Anyway, I think you might get what I mean, or you might not. Hello, Jill. Nice to see you in the house as well. Richard's putting a YouTube link into Russ Abbott's sketch. I'm not quite sure what that sketch is about, but I'm sure it'll be funny. So hang on, I must have to take another drink. Whoops. There we go. I'm going to have to try and hold this in the other hand for a minute because that hand's getting tired. I could actually stand it. I tell you what, for a little while, I'm going to unplug it and stand it in the stand. And then if I can see the battery here. So if I see the battery getting too low, I will plug it back in. Okay, and then I'll have to hold it again. All right. You suppose you haven't met Francis Bourgeois, the train spotter enthusiast on your travels list? Oh, I don't know who that is. So maybe I have met a lot of people, and I'm meeting the same people again and again, and it's quite fun. And there's one of the passenger assist people wants to buy, she wants to support my fundraising because when I was going backwards and forwards before Christmas, I was knitting the chocolate orange covers and I was telling her about it when we were, when she was helping me on and off the train and talking about my knitting. And she said, oh, I haven't got any money on me now. But she said, another time, I'll buy something off you. And when she saw me the other day at Portsmouth and Southsea Station, she said, oh, have you got any of your chocolate orange covers? I said, no, not at the moment. I'm on family knitting at the moment, but I will be doing some Easter chocolate orange covers soon. So she wants to support the fundraising, which is really nice, So and I have to tell you about the passenger assistance going back to my daughter's, but let me just finish the bit where I was at home. So I went home on the Thursday. I went to Slimming World on the Thursday night. On Friday, I was going to go to the hub, but the hub had been cancelled on Friday. There was an issue going on about that, so there was no hub. So I didn't go out doing my crafting or whatever, but it didn't matter because it gave me more time at home. I actually want time at home to sort out. I've got so much craft stuff. And as many of you know, I've got so much craft stuff, but I've also got cupboards and units, the IKEA units that you saw me put together to house a lot of that stuff. But I haven't got it all the craft stuff put away in all the drawers. And so I need time to do that, to put the stuff away, and to get tidied. I need to go through all my old clothes that don't fit me anymore because I've lost 3.5 stone. I need to get those all packed up. And there's a charity on the island called Hearts on the Hanger or something like that. I can't remember. It's something like that. And it's a charity run by the daughter of somebody I know, and what they're doing is they're collecting up lots of clothes and giving them to people who need them. So they run an event, but you go to the event, but you don't actually have to buy the stuff because it's geared for people who are in real need, and they're giving the stuff away. Now I would far rather put stuff there so that I know that people in real need can use some of the things that I don't need anymore. So that's what I'm doing. So I've got a load of stuff to clear out of the wardrobes, and so I need to do that. Then I'm still going through stuff of my mum's that was, at my house, and she passed away 3 years ago. But in that first year, I didn't actually want to do any of that, and now I do. I'm not there to do it, so I'm trying to get through to do it. Let's see. Let's keep up with the comments. Debs is coming in. She's coming to the Midlands in 9 to 10 days. Right. Oh, she's putting an advert in there for the best place to buy wood. Okay. She's bringing her Rottweiler too. Okay. And so maybe you might meet up with Richard, might you? Recently, when I was in Debs's area, I managed to meet up with my, because that's near where one of my sons is, and we met up, Debs, and I introduced Debs and Kath to each other, because although they met each other here online, they'd never met actually in the real world, and so that we all met up and we had a wonderful gathering and meeting up together. And this week on the Isle of Wight, I'm having another meet-up on Thursday because I'm going to be home from tomorrow till next Sunday. So and Richard's saying it's understandable about my mum's stuff. Yeah, sometimes you don't actually want to deal with those things straight away. But it's time I did deal with them because I actually can't move around my flat very well. I've got little areas where I can move. My craft area is getting better and better, and I've got room to sit there and do my computer and that stuff. But my lounge, the middle of my lounge, has got all this craft stuff in that all needs sorting out and putting away. I've got the Kallax units all around my lounge that house all my wool. Of course, I'm doing lots of knitting now, and I'm giving wool to other people who want to do some knitting. Jan, who runs the Warm Hub, she came over to see me. Oh, that's right. She came over to see me while I was home. There was something she wanted to discuss with me, and so we had coffee together. So that was really nice. And then I was, she'd seen me knitting the smoothie hats, and she hadn't knitted for years. She did know how to knit, but she didn't have wool and she didn't have needles. So I supplied her with wool and needles, and she's gone off and she started her first smoothie hat. So this campaign is brilliant because it's encouraged a lot of people to learn to knit or to take up knitting. Somebody who'd was sort of still in grief over a lost partner, she's restarted with her knitting, and that's lovely to see the mojo coming back, and helping a little bit in sort of dealing with the grief. Knitting is fantastic. If you don't do it and you want a way of relaxing, it is very relaxing, except for some people it's not so relaxing, because for people who can't work out how to do it, it's very easy to knit, but some people say no, and it would stress you out if you didn't know how to do it and you were struggling with it. But most people who take it up find it very relaxing, and I certainly do. Richard saying it took your dad's stuff, it took you a year to sort it out, September 2011 to 2012. Absolutely. Debs is saying she's got some things of her mum and her brother-in-law's to make memory bears when you're fit enough to do them. Smoothie hats and cards first. Excellent. Yes, and Debs has added, she's adding to our collection of smoothie hats. It's a very mindful exercise, says Richard. It really is. And, I have been doing so much of it Now, coming up here, now what I would love to have done was show you the hats that I made my grandchildren, or have been making my grandchildren over the last week. You may have seen the pictures online, and wait a minute, on here somewhere. No, it's not there. Where's it gone? Wait a minute. Hang on a sec. Well, it was on here and now it's not. There was a pom-pom on here and it's disappeared. I think one of the children must have moved it. Sorry, it was on this table and I can't see it. Okay, well, we won't worry. We won't worry about that. If you've been watching my Facebook page at all, you will see that I was making hats for my grandchildren, the ones that are here now. Let's have a look. Heather's saying she wouldn't know what to do with a mistake in knitting. Unlike paper crafting, you just slap a flower or a butterfly over a mistake. You absolutely do. You know, in the crafting world, that's it. That's what the butterflies are for. If you do make a mistake, or you blob a piece of glue, or you get a colouring piece wrong, you just stick a butterfly or a flower on it, and it's all. You could stitch a bow on, Heather. You know. Debs was saying that the colours in my grandchildren's hats were lovely. They were, and I really enjoyed them, and I would love to have shown you them, but something happened today and I can't show you. And I've jumped from last week to today, and that I haven't finished telling you about last week, but I have this grasshopper brain that goes from one thing to another. So I'll tell you about the hats for the grandchildren. So I had made the hats, but I hadn't made the bubbles, and it was a bobble I was looking for. There's a bobble, a spare bobble somewhere where I'm sitting, but it seems to have disappeared, or one of the children might have moved it across. Wait a minute, is that it over there? Hang on a minute, let me see if I can find it. No, it's not. It isn't there, and I will find it, I know, as soon as I finish the broadcast. It will turn up as soon as I finish the broadcast, but never mind. So anyway, one of the granddaughter's hats was like this, but big. I have made a smoothie hat like my granddaughter's, like the big one. So she had one in these colours. Years ago, when I was here in lockdown, and some of you will know that I came to my family for Christmas for 5 days and ended up getting locked down when Boris locked us down, and I stayed for 3 months. I made this beautiful scarf, this lovely yellow and orange scarf, and I have just knitted. Well, the hat matches beautifully, and it's the new they've got new coats, and they now have a hat each. So this was one, the older granddaughter, and then the colours, I have knitted a little one of these in the other colours, and that's disappeared too. It's like the borrowers are in this place. It's disappeared. Anyway, the colours for the other one were these sort of colours. So these are the wools, because I've got a whole bag of wool. So these are the colours, and white. That with white were the... Yeah, let's do that. Those were the colours in the other hat. And I made a little smoothie hat the same as well. But that's disappeared too. It was in the side of my knitting bag. It was in here. And it's not there. And I don't know where it's gone. But not to worry. Not to worry. And you sent me a link, some sort of link. Oh, you sent the link in the community, whatever that was. Okay, that's lovely. Right, let's see. Debs is saying lovely colours in the hats. You could make a crochet daisy, perhaps. Yes, you could crochet daisies and put them over. So you know, and my daughter, sometimes she makes a mistake in these little hats. Now, if I'm there, I can correct it. And one of my one of her twins helps her correct it. But if none of us were there, I'd say, well, sew it up and stick a little a daisy or a bow or something like that. You can still do it the same, Heather. It's just not paper. So anyway, so that's what you would do. So anyway, I will put a picture of the little smoothing hats on my Facebook page and in the community group when I find it. And there's another little one I did when I was just on my travels somewhere. So what was I going to say? So yes, so what I'll do is I'm going to jump. Hang on. How cute that little matching hat is, says Heather. Monkey mind is mindfulness like the ones at Wild Heart Animal. Monkey mind, sorry, I don't know what that is. Richard, sorry. Don't forget, vote Zeb in the East England poll. Absolutely. Oh, right. Is that what you... Oh, right. Richard has sent a link in the community, in the Go Live Granny community. This is important. And if any of you are not part of the Go Live Granny community, can you request to join? You have to answer 1 or 2 questions before I let you in. But once you've answered the question, answered the questions, I'll let you in. What he's referring to is it's a tourism. Right. Steve is saying he's driving back from Alfie's now, so see you all in an hour. That's if we're still chatting away, Steve. I don't know whether my family will want to come back into the lounge, so I might not be on as late tonight because actually they are sleeping here because I'm in their room and they've got the couch. So I may get kicked out or I don't know. We'll see what we might be here or we might not, Steve. It might be a shorter one. And then let me see. Next Sunday, I am not. Oh, I think next Sunday evening, as long as I'm not still traveling because I've got delayed so long, I should be perhaps at my daughter's house. We'll see. Don't worry, you can't rush. It's 20 miles an hour everywhere. Okay, well, you drive safely and maybe we'll see you later, Steve. If not, you can catch the replay or we'll see you next time. But what Richard's saying is don't forget to vote Zeb in the Visit England poll. So Richard has put the link. Oh, and I presume that's what the link is that he put in. Was that the link you put in earlier, Richard? He put a link in and I wasn't quite sure what it was. But in the past, the Isle of Wight has featured top in the Tourism Superstar Awards. So there's these I've forgotten who runs the Superstar Awards, but Tourism Superstar. And years ago we had a chap at the Red Funnel Ferry, and he used to greet all the cars coming in. He'd do a big bow to everybody as you came in to get on the ferry. And he won the Tourism Superstar. I can't remember what year it is. I expect Richard will probably look it up and tell us if we're lucky. And then another, I've forgotten, was it somebody from Hover Travel? We had another person who won a tour. And this is tourism for all over the country. Sorry, I've got a hair tickling my face. I can't get hold of it. It's I'm having my hair cut on Wednesday. It's getting a bit long now. Yeah, so there was another chap. I think he was from Hover Travel. I can't remember. Anyway, so we've won it more than once, the two. And of course, it is good for our tourism on the island if we can win it. So there's somebody who works at the wildlife sanctuary who's in the, I think it's about 10 or 11 people. And there's a vote going on. And Richard's put the poll there. He's put the link in the group. And so if you can all go on and vote, that would be fantastic because we want, the votes to count so that we can get Zeb as the Tourism Superstar 2025. That will be brilliant. And this is what we're very good at. Our community is very, very good at getting the votes in and winning these things. Zeb Fisher at Wild Heart Animal Sanctuary is in the final. There we are. Right. Tracy, nice to have you in, Tracy. Sorry you're not having a good day today. I know life has been very difficult for you recently. We're sending you lots of love. And I don't know whether you're around this week. I'm actually back on the island, Tracy, tomorrow through till next Sunday. And if there's a chance we can meet up, I'd love to make it happen. But I understand, if it's difficult for you. So just let me know. But it's lovely to have you in here now. That's great. And if we can cheer you up a little bit, we'll do our best. So yes, so there's me hopping all over the place from one story to the next story and back again. Never finishing one story probably. So yeah, so I had a nice time at home. I didn't do half as much as I hoped to do, but then I didn't overtax myself either. I did do some knitting. I wanted to get those hats done, and I got them to the stage where they hadn't got their bobbles on, and then I had their bobbles, their pom-poms, and I had my pom-pom makers, and I brought them with me, and I was on the train. So on Friday I went from my station where I get on to Bristol Parkway, changed at Bristol Parkway, and then was on a cross country right up to the north, going via Birmingham. But I didn't have to get off the train after Bristol Parkway until I got to my destination. Then I got off there. But it was very busy, and when I was put on the train, so Bristol Parkway, they were not the best. They did actually get me on the train, but they're supposed to help me onto the train and help me to my seat. Now on Avanti West Coast, on Great Western Railway, and these other stations, usually you just get up the ramp and the disabled area is just there. On cross country trains, I had to go up a ramp, then all the toilets and all sorts of things here, and there's a corridor down to go to where the disabled space is. Now the guy was not going to get on. He didn't seem to be going to get on with me. They're supposed to help me on to my seat, and he wasn't going to do it. And I couldn't see around the corner, but I had a feeling that the space might not be available, even though it was reserved for me. And when I got there was a guide dog in it. Now, I'm very wary of other people with issues, but it was only a dog. There was nobody with the dog. There was no seat. So, the wheelchair space, unfortunately, I have Navy Nora with me, which is my walker that I can sit on. But of course, before I can sit on it, I have to take all my luggage off it so I can sit on it. But once I did that, it was okay. But the dog was in the way. And I thought, well, I can't stand all the way. I can't. What am I going to do? I can't be sitting in the bit that people walk in. I need to tuck in that space. And so I called the guy, and he came on the train, and then he was trying to identify whose guide dog it was, because nobody was owning up to the guide dog. And then eventually there was a lady further up whose guide dog it was, and she took the guide dog and put it under the table where she was, but otherwise it was just in the big wheelchair. Well, it's not a big wheelchair space. So anyway, the dog moved and I got in the wheelchair space, and then the guy got off. He went off the train, but it was busy nearly all the way, and people were standing a lot of the way. But also, shenanigans, one of the shenanigans on this was not that the train was late, but that I was nearly attacked by a flying suitcase. Because the cross-country trains are old. They are due to redo them. They're 25 years old. That was the excuse they gave me when I was told on some of the trains that they don't have anywhere to plug your power in to power your phones and your laptops. They said, oh, our trains are too old. We're going to be redoing them. So, okay, that's one thing. But that was part of the excuse they made when I mentioned to the guard that I nearly got attacked by a suitcase flying. And he said, oh, well, they're due to be done in They're due to be renewed in 2027. I said, yes, but you might have a few injured passengers before 2027. And basically, the wheelchair space where I was here. There's the corridor there, a sliding door here to the net to where all the toilets and that corridor bit was. And then across from me, just there, was where you put suitcases. Now, it doesn't require a lot to put a notice on to say, please lie your suitcases down, especially if they've got wheels on them. So people do not lie them down. They stand them up on the shelf with their wheels on. You know, they stand them on their wheels. There's nothing at the front to stop them coming off. So when the train hits a bump, what happens? The suitcase comes flying across. It didn't quite reach me, but it could have done. If it was a bigger jolt, it could have actually knocked me. And it came off more than once, but I mean, did it come off more? No, it was okay. It came off, and another passenger came and he put it back up and he lay it down. So its wheels were not, it wasn't on its wheels. Now, when this guard came along, I thought, well, you need to do something because somebody will get injured. And I said, well, it could have a notice on saying, please lie your cases down. That would be helpful for starters. Or if it had some sort of thing, I don't know. I would want to put a bungee strap around it, but of course, if you put a bungee strap around it, somebody would steal the bungee strap, or they wouldn't put it on, and it would still be. But it needs something across just to stop them, stop the cases sliding. So it's a metal shelf, and they just slid off. You know. So another guy, no, it had slid before, and a guy had already put it back, and then he put that one back. Another one back, and then somebody else had put theirs that way. Crazy. And of course, not very helpful for people who are much further down the train if their suitcase is back here, because in this day and age people steal all sorts of things. So nothing, you know, I would not want to put my luggage on there if I was sitting right further down the train. Anyway, I did say to the guard, 2027, you might have a few injuries before you've sorted this one out. So anyway, health and safety concern, absolutely, Richard. All right. Oh yes, Tracy. Tracy lost her little fur ball. I did see that, Tracy, and of course, you know, it's not been the best of months for you anyway. So extra love there. But lovely that you've joined us tonight. So there we are. Look, Richard's put the link in for the Visit England Superstar. There it is. So if everybody could go in and vote for Zeb. It's Zeb who works at the Wild Heart Animal Sanctuary in Sandown. That's who we want to win. And let's, you know, you can vote once a day, can you? Right, folks. That's it. What date? When does the voting finish, Richard? How many votes can we get in each? And if we all do vote every day, and then we all tell our friends to vote every day, can you see how that stacks the numbers up? It really makes a big difference if everybody comes in and does that. It would be amazing to have yet another winner in the Tourism Superstar Awards, you know. And I do like doing those things, obviously. If we can get more eyeballs on the Isle of Wight, that would be really good. Yes, it's until the 23rd of March. So has the voting actually started yet? I wasn't sure whether it had actually started because I've been, you know, toing and froing. I wasn't quite sure. So anyway, if everybody could do that, that would be fantastic. I will keep, you know, asking you to vote, but not just to vote, but to tell everybody else to vote as well. It's like throwing a pebble in the pool, you know. I throw the pebble in the pool and you will make the ripples happen. That's brilliant. So anyway, back to me being at home. So I did get some of my tidying up done. I did get, you know, some bits and pieces sorted out. Not as much as I wanted to do, but you know what? I'm not going to kill myself. I just think it will all happen in good time. And so, you know, I get tired, so I sit and I knit, or I sit and don't knit sometimes, but I do like to knit. I find it very relaxing, as you know, and it's very productive. So, so the hats did get made, and the bubbles did get made, and I'll talk about the bubbles in a minute. I'll just finish what happened at home. I don't even remember if I can remember all the details of everything, because you know it's been a busy week, so much going on, and yeah. So yes, I was there, and Wednesday I went back, and oh yes, I must tell you about the passenger assistance on Wednesday. So yes, all the bits and pieces I did at home, not terribly exciting, but you know, just getting a bit more organised. And then I think I was on an 11:15 hover on Wednesday. That's right, I was. And do you know what? I seem to have so much time, and I get organised and all my bits. And then I seem to have, well, I've got still 2 hours before the taxi comes, and then that last 2 hours just disappears, and all of a sudden the taxi's there, and am I ready, and have I got everything I need? Navy Nora, I'm having an issue as to where to stand Navy Nora, because she used to stand at the bottom of my stairs on one side, but I've had a stair lift put in, because you go into my flat and straight up the stairs, because I live on the top of, my flat sits on the top of 2 garages, so I get my stairs go between inside, and those walls are against the garages, my garage and next door's garage, so I just go straight up the stairs, and so the stair lift now is there on that side, and so when the stair lift comes down, you can't have Navy Nora there, because I wouldn't be able to get out the door, because there's not much space. And so I've pushed Navy Nora to the other side. The door still won't open very well, and I think I need to have something built outside or do something. But at the moment, she was just squeezed at the side. So I take some stuff down and I pack Navy Nora with what she's got in. But of course, when the taxi arrived, my bags were still at the top of the stairs, and I had to get them down, and I had to come down in the stair lift and then go up for the others. You know, I had to go up and down 2 or 3 times, and the stair lift is a bit slow. So it wasn't very quick to bring the bags down. Anyway, I had allowed half an hour for the taxi coming to my house, and it's actually only less than a 10-minute drive to the hoverport. But because they keep closing roads all round Ryde, I didn't know which roads were open and which roads weren't, so I allowed plenty of time. But I got there in plenty of time, so it was okay. And, you know, got on there, and then that's right, when I got to Portsmouth and Southsea, that's when I saw Lisa, the lovely lady who I recently met, who's now following me on social media, and we take more pictures, and we have all these fun things going on every time I get to the station. And she's the one who wants to support the charity stuff, or one of the ones. I think others do as well. And so that was good. So she got me on the, helped me on the train, and I was in plenty of time there as well. And then, so from there, that's right, I went from there. Oh yes, and all the handovers there, each time it was pretty okay. I wasn't delayed, and I got there on time. But on the last bit of the journey, so when I change at Reading, it's usually a Great Western Railway train, and they usually put me in first class, because disabled area is in first class. One of the disabled areas is in first class. And I said, the first time I said, no, I don't have a first class ticket. You can't put me in there. And they said, oh, we do. We put our disabled people in there because it's easier for us. And they do have a big area, a much bigger area, and a table. And they have sockets to plug your phones in as well, and all that. But also, if you're in first class, they offer you free coffee and free tea, etc. So I thought, oh yes, I just fancy a coffee now. So they bought me a coffee, and I was enjoying my coffee. And then all of a sudden, I was at my station I needed to get off at, and I I hadn't finished my coffee, but I didn't want to leave it behind either because it was a really nice cup of coffee. It got a lid, so I put the lid on it. Of course, they do come, other than at Bristol Parkway where they weren't very helpful with the the passenger assistance. The others are usually pretty good, and they often come on the train to help me. Do I need help even getting to the ramp? And so I just got to the top where they put the ramp, and I had a cup of coffee, but I had my bags, and I was trying to, wheel Navy Nora. So that chap is called Joby, the one, and I've met him before. That's how I knew because they're following me on social media. And so I said, oh, could you just take this cup of coffee for a minute while I get off the train? I do need to get one of those things. I did have one once. Somebody gave me once, but I've mislaid it. A cup holder to clip onto my Navy Nora, because then I wouldn't have an issue, would I? I could put it on, and as I wheeled, the coffee would be there. So anyway, he took the coffee cup, and then they helped me off, and I got onto the platform. I said, oh, shall I take the coffee now? He said, no. He said, I'll carry it for you. This is over and above. This is customer service on steroids. Excellent customer service plus. And so he took it, we went towards the station. Hang on, let's have a look. Wait a minute. I'll look at the comments in a minute. So he took me as far as the front of the station, and I said, oh, I'll take it from here, shall I? He said, no. He said, I'll take it to your daughter's car for you, where she does have a cup holder in her car, and I could put it in there. So I thought that was excellent customer service, over and beyond. That was, and I was well pleased. Let's have a look. You can vote once a day. This is for the tourism superstar. She's in the final already. That's right. So it's down to about the last 11, isn't it, Richard? That's conserving spoons. I've forgotten what the conversation was there, Richard. I'm sorry. I did have a little spillage of milk when I was pulling those, those little sachets that you put the milk into your coffee. They give you the black coffee and the sachets, and milk spilled across the table. That was about the worst shenanigan on my journey, really. And also then I spilt a little bit just on the table, but I mopped it up with my tissue and it was okay. Spoons up, schmoody, very good. Okay, right, let's have a look. Great Western Children and LNER are best in Richard's opinion, who travels quite a lot on the trains. Your friend was put in first class on the journey to Sheffield from Exeter as they use a wheelchair. It would have cost £459 first class normally. Absolutely. They got returned for 190. So where did they go? First class journey, Sheffield from Exeter. Okay, a lot of my journeys now, folks, if you are going to travel, it's worth getting a rail card. I used to travel on a senior rail card. I now have a disabled person's rail card, and the rail card doesn't cost a lot, but it drastically cuts the price of the tickets. And of course, I'm traveling mostly in the daytime on an advanced ticket or split tickets. So a lot of my journeys and this is all the way from the Isle of Wight to a Wiltshire destination, often is about £30. That includes crossing the water. And those fares for crossing the water can normally cost quite a lot. Almost that, somewhere like 20-something pounds. That might be a return, I can't remember. But this is a single journey. Sorry, folks. So, yes, so it's well worth getting a rail card, and it's well worth going on. So I look at TrainPal. These are apps. TrainPal. They are apps, but actually I don't do through the app. I go through Top Cashback because I get cashback on my journeys as well. Sometimes it might only be 58p, but all those 58p's or 60p's or 70p's all add up. And so TrainPal, Trip.com, I did it the other day, and I got £1 something, because they do 3%, so it was better. So conserving energy when you knit, conserving spoons. Right, okay. Definitely best is getting railcard, especially as disabled railcards, £10 cheaper at £20. That's right, yes. So the disabled railcard was £20, and the senior rail, or some of the others are £30. Even cheaper if you get a 3-year railcard. Yes, Richard, but I don't know if I'm going to be around for 3 years, and that would break my weaselly heart if I bought a 3-year one and I only lasted a year. And yes, via website, good with cashback. So I keep getting cashback on all my things. The other day, my daughter was meeting up with her friend for coffee, and I was in tow as well. And I said, well, I don't mind buying the coffee. So what I did was I went on top cashback. I went through the top gift cards bit of top cashback, and then I bought a Costa gift card. And I thought, well, I'll put £20 on it. £20 will probably do us 2 trips. Usually our coffees are about £10 for the 3 of us. And so I will put £20 on the card. So I did. And I said, here we are, look, use my gift card, which they would have done. But something hiccuped in the system. It was Costa's fault. Something hiccuped, and they couldn't take the voucher. so Tasha's friend paid for the coffee this time, but I will pay for the next lot of coffees. But I get cash back on that. So that's good. That's so you've got £1 here for a ticket. You've got a bit more here and a bit more there, and all that money is adding up. So I now have gone over £600 cash back on things I buy anyway in the last 2 years. And we are converting more and more people and showing them the benefits of signing up with Top Cashback. But if you're going to do it, don't do it until you've got a link, from me, because you benefit. You'll get a benefit. We both get a benefit, which is good. And I would do it even if I didn't get a benefit. But you get a starter bonus if you sign up through my link. And, what's not to love? And on Friday, it was a cashback Friday. It was a cashback bonus Friday, and they do that once a month, and they give you £2 if you spend £5. Sometimes it's £5, sometimes it's £10. If you spend £5 or £10, whatever they say that day, in one of their retail stores. Now, if I'm not going to buy on that Friday, I buy a gift card, because say I'm going to go in B&M. Or one of the other stores, New Look or whatever. If I'm going to do that next week, right, I'll buy the gift card today. I'll get my £2 bonus on it. Or you get the £2 bonus for buying on the Friday, but you also get the cash back on the gift card. So that's extra, and then use it next week. So that's how it works. I am going to be doing some little tutorials on these things, because I'm a one-person household, and I've had £600 back in 2 years. So think if you had 2, 3, 4, or like my daughter's household, 6 in their household, she's started to really reap the benefits of the Top Cashback. And some of you people in the community have signed up with it but not used it. So if you want to know how to use it and get the benefit of it, you will still get that starter bonus even if you signed up ages ago but haven't used it. So let me know if you want to know more about it, because I'm becoming quite the expert on it, as you can see. Yeah, so I've had a nice time. So I coming and going. So I got back to my daughter's. I was with my daughter I got back on Wednesday. So on Thursday we went out and met up with this friend and did a bit of shopping. I can't remember. Oh yes, I bought. That's it. I bought this. What else did I buy? Oh, I meant to bring you and show you my really, really shiny new trousers, and I didn't. I've got some trousers that got sequins all over them. Mega sequins, more shiny than the trousers I've already got on. And I got that, and I got And this was not a cashback store. It was Peacock's, and it wasn't a cashback store. I got my nice new, I got myself a bobble hat here because, yes, I should be knitting my own bobble hat, shouldn't I? Because I've knitted them for the children. But it was going to be really cold this weekend and I was travelling and I didn't have time to knit a hat for myself before I travelled because I still had the children's hats to finish. So I bought this hat, I bought this, and I bought this very shiny trousers. And I was having a joke with the cashier and saying, this is for me, this isn't for anybody else because I'm a live streamer and I like doing these things. And she said, I met you on the station the other day, didn't I? We had a chat. And I remember talking to a young lady there, and she was the assistant in the shop. So that was fun. No, you can never have too many sequins, Richard. You're quite right. So, you know, I say I just had to have the sequins. Anyway, I was going to tell you about the bobbles for the children's hats. So I was on this busy train. I'd finished making the hat that was this colour, with the orange and the purples in, the bigger hat like that. And I was, I'd finished making the hat, but the other one, for the other granddaughter, I hadn't sewn it up and I hadn't sewn all the ends in. Because when you're changing all those colours, you have lots of different ends to sew in. So I was doing that on the train. I thought, oh, I can do this on the train. Probably drop a few bits and leave a bit of evidence that I've been on the train. Not deliberately, but I always seem to leave evidence of my knitting everywhere I go. And so I was doing that. And then, so I got them ready for the bobble stage. And I had got the bobble makers, the pom-pom makers with me. And I did the pom-pom for the hat, that colour. You wind it all round and round and round. And then I had a think, I was going to make it on the train, even though the train was busy and it got people here. I was still had enough space that I wasn't crowded or claustrophobic by people standing there. There was enough space. So I was going to do it, and you have to cut it and then you have to tie it with wool and tie it tightly like that before you do it. But, you know, in the past, pom-poms, unless you can tie that so tightly that none of the wool will move, the bits, because you cut it, so they're all loose bits of wool by the time you've cut it, and it's very hard to get that, pull that so hard that the wool won't move without breaking the wool, because if you pull too hard the wool breaks. And I've made pom-poms on little hats and small pom-poms and things, and that's fine. But, you know, if you've just made your granddaughter a beautiful hat, and then you make a bobble and it all disintegrates, it's not much fun, not going to be much fun, is it? And I was going to do it on the train, and then I thought, no, supposing it pings, supposing the train jolts and the whole thing pings, all the bits of wool are going to go everywhere and I'm going to lose my bobble. So I decided not to finish it until I got here. So I did finish it, but I wasn't still satisfied that it was tight enough for the bits of wool not to come out. So I went on YouTube because I thought there must be a way. You know, other people must have this same trouble as me. There must be a way not to lose all your wool pulling out of the pom-pom. So I went on YouTube and I looked at some people making pom-poms, and they were all doing them the same way as me. And then I saw, are you fed up with your pom-pom falling apart or something, or how to make a pom-pom that doesn't fall apart? Brilliant. I have the secret. So any of you making pom-poms, the secret is a cable tie. I don't know what she called them because she was American, I think, and it had a different name, I think. But you know the cable ties that you put through each other and then you pull it tight? Well, I'm here at my son's house. I said, oh, do you happen to have any cable ties? He said, oh, yes, I do. But he'd only got the fairly short one. Oh, he had got longer ones, but he didn't want me to waste a whole lot. So he gave me a short one because we are all about not wasting things, and they are mega eco-friendly, which is good. I'm not knocking it. But I had a bit of a job trying to get hold of the shorter one. So I handed it to him. He did it for me. So what you do is you you cut all the wool round the pom-pom maker, and you do put your bit of wool in and you tie it, a zip tie. That's it. Yes, I think you're right, a zip tie. So you tie it with the wool tightly, and then you put the cable tie or the zip tie, whatever you call it, round, and then you have to prise the bits of the bobble maker apart a little bit, because otherwise you can't get the cable tie in. You know, you want narrow cable ties, and you pull it as tightly as you can. Then you take the bobble maker apart and take that bit off, so you've got the pom-pom, and then you pull it as tightly as you can, and that way it really does make the wool stay in as long as you can get it as tight as you can. And so I now have bobbles that won't fall apart. But the reason I can't show you the hats is because I went out with my future daughter-in-law and the grandchildren today, and we went. One of them was being given a reward for something, and she chose to go to the ice cream parlour. So we went to the ice cream parlour, but on the way back, and this is not because she'd eaten too much ice cream, this was because she wasn't feeling very well. And I'm afraid the hat, I'm not going to go into the details, but the hats are now in the wash, both of them. Something happened in the car that you can probably, if I use the word projectile, I think you probably can work it all out without me actually saying what happened. And they are now sitting in the wash with the coats and a load of other stuff from the car. Okay, so that's why I can't show you the hats tonight. But you can imagine hats like that, and I will either show you, I can't show you next time because I won't be here. What I can do is make a little video when they've, oh no, because they've got to go in the wash and I'm going home tomorrow. Oh, that's not going to work. Anyway, there's pictures of them on my social media and I'm very pleased with them. And the funny thing is, the pattern I used is in a book. I showed it to my future daughter-in-law, and it's a pattern I never would have chosen. It didn't look interesting, but the reason it didn't look interesting is because the colours were boring that it was made in, and but obviously she could see beyond the colours and she could visualise it in the bright colours. And I have to say, I love it. I love the hats, and I know that they're going to, be complimented on. This scarf has had so many compliments apparently, and I know it's when you use those bright colours, it's the colours really that make people love them, and so yeah. So I never would have chosen that particular hat. I might have done stripies or something. And Heather saying, "Oh yes, she's sorry she had a tummy up." Yes, but the thing was, my poor daughter-in-law, she had to get out and do the cleaning. We were on a busy road. We managed to find a lay-by a bit further down, and then she had to do all the cleaning at the side of the road. It was bitterly cold, and she had to put her jumper on my granddaughter, so she was in the cold. I was worried about her catching cold and all that. Anyway, marvelous. I mean, she didn't lose her cool at all. She was brilliant. It's just amazing to see. And Heather saying these colours are so cheery. They certainly are. Richard saying his friend Cara's going she forages all her food in April and fish as she's based in Wales near the Cambrian coast. Excellent. Bright colours used in colour therapy. I mean, I just love it. Oh, do you want to see my socks? Look at my socks. Excuse me sticking my feet up in my camera, but I don't rather like my rainbow socks. I can sing a rainbow. I can wear a rainbow. Who not? Anyway, I forgot though, before I came away on the Friday when I travelled up here, in the morning we had Slimming World and we had weigh-in. And of course I had gone down again because weighing in the morning, you're less, and I had been on plan all week. And so when I went to weigh in on Friday, I had lost weight again. So, but not only that, now, If you were called the biggest loser, generally, you might not like it. But I was so surprised, and I haven't put this on social media yet. Heather's loving my socks, I'm glad. And when your nephew got ill in your brother's vehicle and it went into the venting system. Oh no! Oh, I bet. I think this car is going to go for a valet service this week, apparently. So anyway, look what I got. Now this says, let me read it to you. Congratulations, Lynn Blackledge, the greatest loser 2025. Now, generally, you might not like to be called the greatest loser, but in this circumstance, it says, no need to pinch yourself. It's all real. Your staggering achievement, your transformed shape, your healthier body, and the inspiration you are to everyone around you. Love every minute with my admiration and love. And it says Margaret. Now, of course, Margaret is the lady who did set up Slimming World. So this is, I'm the greatest loser because in that particular Slimming World group, I was the one who lost the most weight over the last year. So that's my 3.5 stone. Thank you, Heather. She's saying congratulations. So I really didn't mind being called a loser this week. That was okay. And I had a sticker that I've stuck on my Slimming World book because they do like giving us stickers. We get these awards, you know, like children. You love stickers, don't you? I love stickers, and my Slimming World book's got stickers all over the way. It's got my half stone award, my 1 stone award, and then all the half stones. Then I was Slimmer of the Week, and I've been Slimmer of the Month way back. And then what else did I have on there? There's a sticker that when I went into when I changed a new stone zone, when I went from the first where I started, when it dropped down to the next stone down, that was good. It was so nice. But of course, Margaret, who set up Slimming World, she sadly passed away 2 weeks ago. But what a legacy she's left. You know, there's so many people so much healthier now. And of course, because it's food optimizing rather than actual, it's not a diet. It's actually can eat so much, and so what a legacy, and so many much healthier people now because they followed their Slimming World journeys. And as long as you know, I mean, I did it before, and then I fell off the wagon and put it back on, but now I've taken it off this time, and I am pretty sure I will stay there because I've changed the lifestyle. I can see it's a new lifestyle. It's a way I want to do for the future. I'm retired. I can have my lovely things I cook when I'm home with my nice new little cooker. I'm not there often. I have to cook at my daughter's. Stickers are a fun system, Heather. They work, don't they? Everybody loves a sticker. So anyway, so I think I'm catching you up. No, I haven't quite finished. So the other thing I've been knitting is so one granddaughter has got a nice cardigan like this. Now, my mum used to call these boleros, but lots of people talk about them as boleros. So I think maybe my mum got it wrong. So this is what I'm making. So that, you know, like one of those short cardigans. So it's with this lovely white fluff, the white fluffy wool. It's chenille, and this. Do you remember I bought some bargain wool from Isle of Wool, and it had red and white. It had red and white bits in it, green and white bits in it, and white bits in it, and it was one ball with all the different bits in it. You know, it would go from white, and then it would be green and white, and then it would be red and white. What I did was wind all the green off and cut it off, then find the white bits and make them into balls of white. So those are the ones I've got with me. And so this is so I made one of these cardigans, and this is the one for the other granddaughter. And so that's the back of her cardigan, which I'd done. But I lost my place. I started that weeks ago, and I've lost my place. So I've got to count the rows up to see where I'm at. But I have just here somewhere, and I've forgotten where I put it. Oh, well, it's disappeared, like everything does here. No, I can't show you. I've done the sleeve. But I don't know where I've put it. Maybe I'm sitting on it. It doesn't matter. It looks like that, but narrower. No, I can't see it. Everything it's it's probably with the bubble. Oh, there we go. So I have done one sleeve and I've measured her and it's good and it's good to go. So I'm going to take it home and finish it at home and then post it back again. So I don't know. I think the borrower's around here, right behind me. Is it right behind me? Oh, it is right behind me. She's right. There it is. Look. There it is. And you might think, why have I got little orange bits and purple bits sticking out the side? Well, I'm not very good at keeping count of the rows. Sometimes I write it down on a piece of paper and then I lose my... that's it. Yes, thank you, Tracy. Tracy's saying behind me as well. Behind you. Hello. And so, am I in the way, Toby? Toby?
No, fine.
Okay. So my son's just gone through. I didn't know if they needed to come in here yet. So so this is nearly finished, this sleeve. So I've got the other sleeve to do, and then I've got the fronts, and then it won't take long to make. And this is going to be worn in the evening of the wedding day. So that's got to be done. And what I did, so it would say on the pattern, right, on the fourth row, increase on each end of the row. And then it would say on the following 10th row, increase on the end of the row. And I was not counting it. I was having to count up all the rows all the time. So in the end, I thought, that's daft. Why don't I just put on the 4th row, there we go, there's one. When on the next 10th row, that's the next one. So then I only have to count those rows before I know where to do the next one. And these bits are all the spare bits that I cut off when I was finishing the ends of the other things. Sam, it's your birthday on Saturday. Oh, excellent. Shall we sing happy birthday? Let's sing happy birthday to Sam. Folks, can you put some emojis in for Sam's birthday for Saturday? And I'll sing now in case I don't know, I'm hoping that I will be live next Sunday. A live streaming is not a live. If I'm not alive, I can't live stream, but I'm hoping to live stream next week. It's a travel day for me, but I should be traveling earlier in the day, so hopefully I will be. Yes, Debs, I noticed that. Debs has just said it's 41 years since Torval and Dean's Bolero anniversary this week. So any of you who don't know, and I mean most people do know that Torval and Dean are great skaters, and are you sure you don't need to come in here, Toby? Yeah, okay. So Torval and Dean, great skaters, and they, in 41 years ago, they won the gold medal at the Olympics for ice dancing to Bolero, and it was the most amazing routine. They were in wonderful purple outfits. You look on YouTube, I expect Richard might put the link in for YouTube, and I'm going to have to finish shortly, folks. There's a happy birthday thing. So, are you sure? No, okay. So I was just mentioning a bolero and the children's boleros, and somebody's reminding me it's Torval and Dean's bolero. So yes, it is a special bolero to celebrate. It wasn't. It just happened to be that it was the anniversary this week as well. So anyway, I'm going to sing for Sam's birthday, not till it's Saturday, but of course I won't be live streaming on Saturday. So I can see Heather's put in some lovely emojis now for the birthday. So if the rest of you could put in some emojis, and then I will sing. Let's see. I'm going to wait for somebody else. Oh, there we are. Tracy's put in loads of bits of cake. So I'm going to sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sam. Happy birthday to you. And happy birthday for Saturday, and hope you have a wonderful day. So I can see that we have been live for about an hour and a half, so I think I'm going to be finishing up. Did I miss anything? Did I start a story I didn't finish? Because I usually do. If there's anything else you need to prompt me on, remind me. Oh, I did forget. Thank you, Nana Teak. I did forget to tell you one of the things I did while I was home was I don't know if I told you, but one of my friends on the island very kindly has donated me a scan and cut machine. So I do a lot of paper craft, as you know, and I put it. I have little dies that I put in a machine, and I have got electric ones, so I've got the ones that you do by hand, and they take all those dies take up a lot of space, and they um, they slip about sometimes when you put them in the machine, and so I tried to convince myself I didn't need one of these machines, and then I saw one in action and realised I did. And when I was talking to somebody about some advice on it, he said, "I've got one you can have." And so yes, I got it. Heather, I did. I went on Tuesday and I got it, and it's brilliant. Well, it will be brilliant. I haven't used it yet because I was leaving on Wednesday and didn't have time. I've got to get a new mat and a new blade for it, which I'm going to order this evening in a minute when I finish the broadcast. And then I was coming away, so I haven't learnt how to use it. So I'm going to finish up in a minute because I do want to get those things ordered tonight so that they arrive so that I can use it while I'm on the island this week. So that's what I will be doing. So I think that's a pretty good roundup of what's been going on since I saw you last. And so let me know if any of you've got birthdays or anything like that, or anything else we need to celebrate. But for now, I'm going to finish up. I'm going to put back. I've got 1 or 2 boxes I borrowed off the side. I think they're special things in here, so I better put them back. I've got some boxes that the Wii Fit. So some of you will know I went on the Wii Fit at my daughter's house. Now we've been doing Wii Fit here as well. So I better put them all back where they belong. Otherwise, I shall be in trouble. See if I can find the bobble that went missing. I don't know where the pom pom went. There was a pom pom in here, and I was going to show it, and it's pom pommed away. But never mind. So, folks, I'm going to say night night, and see you all very soon. We think we're looking for the bubble still. Oh, it's been found. The bubble has been found. Look, there we go. And this one has got the cable tie in it. Look, you can just see the bit of this bit of the cable tie. But ask me why we've got a spare one. I made the first one and I didn't do it with a cable tie. And I thought, thank you, Ian. I thought that I needed to make another one because I felt the first one might disintegrate. And so now this is a spare one to go on if the first one disintegrates. So that's it. That's my pom-pom. And hopefully that will work well. So I'm going to go. And I'll see you all next week. Thank you, Heather. Yeah, I didn't find it. My future daughter-in-law found it for me. I think she knew where it was. Maybe. She just looked a bit harder than I did. I think I look with my eyes shut, folks. Anyway, night night. Hello and good night from Ian in Scotland. He's just come into the book. Watch the replay, Ian, if you want to know what we've been chatting about. But lots of lovely people in here. Hopefully I will be live next Sunday. If I haven't got delayed for about 2 or 3 hours, then I'll be live next Sunday. Night night, everybody. See you soon.